Hi everyone and welcome to another video in our Deep in Java series. Today we are diving into the anatomy of a Java program. This video will be a quick overview of the key components of a Java program, perfect for beginners or anyone looking for a refresher. So let's get started. Every Java class starts with a package declaration. Packages are used to group related classes. Think of it like a folder structure for your code. When we declare a class package as com.example.myapp, then the class must be inside a nested folder structure com/example/myapp. Here, the package declared as info.behzadian. It means that the random integer class is inside the info behzadian folder. If I open the file explorer, you can see that the random integer class is inside a Behzadian folder and the Behzadian folder is inside info folder. This is my project folder, and inside the src folder I have a folder called info, and inside that I have a folder called Behzadian, and inside that I have random integer and main.java source files. Next, we often use import statements to bring in an external class or library that we want to use in our class. Here we want to use random class from java.util package. Now let's talk about the class, the fundamental building block of any Java program. Class declaration starts with access modifier, here public, the class keyword, and class name, followed by a left curly brace, and ends with a right curly brace at the end. A class is where all your code resides. It means that in Java there is no code outside of a class. Classes follow Pascal code naming conventions, meaning each word starts with a capital letter, like hello world with H and W in capital, and here random integer. Here are some examples of good class names and bad class names. Class source file must be created inside the folder structure that is matched with the package declaration and with the exact name of the class with a .java extension. For example, random integer class is saved in a file with name randominteger.java inside info/behzadian folder, as you can see here. Inside the class, we have fields or properties. These hold the data your program works with. When we declare a field, we have to set its access modifier, type, and name. So here, this is the access modifier, this is type, and this is name. When we assign a value to a field, we have the name, assignment operator, and its value. Fields should use camel case naming convention where the first word is lowercase and each subsequent word starts with a capital. Now that we've covered what data a class can hold, let's see what actions it can perform using methods. Methods are actions our class can perform. Each method has its own access modifier, value or return value, name, list of parameters, and body that resides between the curly braces. Here we have three different methods. One that is public, the return value is int, and the name is generate random number. It has no parameters, so we have an empty parenthesis here. It starts with open curly brace and ends with a closed curly brace here. The other method is generate random number. The access modifier is public, the return value is int, and it has two different parameters for minimum and maximum, both integers. The third method is print random number. It is public also. It has no return value, so we have the void here. Also, it has no parameters and no return value as the two other methods. When we want to use that method, we call that method with the list of its arguments that must be matched exactly with the list of the parameters. Each not void method must return a value using a return keyword. Here we defined our random integer class, but we are not using it yet. To use this class, we need to create an object of this class. Here in the main class, we want to create an object of random integer and use it. As you know, classes are blueprints of objects, and each object is an instance of a class. To create an object or an instance of a class, we use class name as type and new keyword to create an object. Objects typically follow camel case naming convention as well. Here in line 6, we are creating an object of type random integer with the name random integer using the new operator. The main method is your program's entry point. Without it, your program won't run. Its access modifier must be public, it must be static, its value or return type must be void, its name must be main, and its parameters must be an array of strings. In IDEs, there is a shortcut for creating the main method. Just start typing psvm and they will suggest the main method signature for you. In Java, there are 3 types of control structures. Java programs run line by line. This is called sequence. There is no jump or goto in Java. While the goto keyword is reserved in Java, it is not a functional statement like it is in some other programming languages. This means that you cannot use it to directly jump to a specific line of code. The other one is the selection. Selection statements, also known as conditional statements or decision-making statements, allow you to control the flow of your Java program based on specific conditions. These statements enable your program to make decisions and execute different code blocks accordingly. In Java, we have if, if-else, if-else-if, and switch statements for selection. It is an example of selection code. Here we generate a random number between 1 and 2 and assign it to a variable called flip coin. And then if the flip coin or the random number is 1, then we type head, otherwise we type tail. So only one of these 2 lines will execute based on this condition. And the third control structures in Java are loops. Loops in Java are control flow statements that allow you to execute a block of code repeatedly. They are essential for automating repetitive tasks and performing iterative operations. Java provides 3 primary types of loops: for, while, and do while. Here is an example of a for loop statement in Java. We want to generate a random number between 1 and 2 for 10 times and then print head if the value is 1 and otherwise tail. You can add notes to your code using comments. Compiler ignores the comments while compiling Java code, but they are very useful for reading code, especially when you did something hard to understand in your code. For example, here I have added a comment, flip a coin 10 times and print the results. Java has 2 types of comments: the single line comments that start with // and multi-line comments that start with /* and ends with */. You can write anything here between these start comment and this end comment syntax. Also, there is a specific type of comments called JavaDocs. These are a multi-line comments with a specific syntax that JavaDoc tool can use to create documentation for our project. For example, here I want to document this method with JavaDoc. And this is JavaDoc for this method. Now let's add JavaDoc comments for this method too. That's a wrap on the anatomy of a Java program. Today we explored packages, classes, fields, methods, control structures, and more. These are the building blocks of every Java application. In upcoming videos, we will take a closer look at each of these topics, so stay tuned. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any question about these topics, drop them in the comments. I would love to help. And as always, happy coding. See you in the next video.